Hello there. We are continuing our series Learn Chess Fundamentals from Paul Morphy, and we are still on opening rule number 5, which states don't make too many pawn moves in the opening, if you can help it. So in order to demonstrate this principle, I will show you one more game from Paul Morphy. This was played in New Orleans, 1848. It was the game with odds, so you can notice here that Paul Morphy as white played without his queen knight. So let's see how the game goes. I think it's very instructive, especially for this principle. Okay, so Paul Morphy plays e4, and Charles Maurian, he's a well-known opponent of Paul Morphy. They played in the chess base. You have around 80 games that they played against each other, so they knew each other very well. But still, Paul Morphy was much better since he was playing with odds, and usually he was the one who won. So Black replies with e5. Morphy goes for King's Gambit, so when down in material, Morphy is relying on attack. So he's just playing very aggressively, and he's just attacking, as you will see. E takes e4, accepting the King's Gambit, and now knight f3, so usual line. And Black plays g5, and this is not unusual, so Black wants to support his f4 pawn, which is crucial to stop opening this file and this diagonal and so on. Bishop c4 by Morphy, and now Black starts to make unnecessary pawn moves. So okay, he did play d5, this is okay. He accepted King's Gambit, this is okay. g5, okay, there are alternatives here, but okay. And now Black plays g4, so another pawn move, and you will see this throughout the game. By the way, here instead of g4, better was just to play bishop g7, because in this way you can keep this pawn formation. For example, if white would want to challenge this pawn formation by attacking the end of the chain, he would have to play h4, and then after h6, h takes g5, h takes g5, everything is okay because this rook is guarded by the bishop. So this is why bishop g7 is usually played here, and now if rooks are exchanged, this favors Black, and this pawn chain is very, very strong. Okay, but he played g4, and now Morphy plays d4. So this is known as Musia Gambit, when you give up your whole piece for the attack. And this is still play actually on the highest levels. Not very often, but you can. It's a legitimate way to play chess. But in this situation, it's even more curious because white is already down a knight, and now he's sacrificing another knight, so he'll be down 2 pieces in this position. But okay, it's Morphy, what can you expect? So g takes f3 here, queen takes f3, so Morphy is playing as if this knight is here, so this is typical Musia Gambit in a normal situation. And now Black plays d5, another pawn move, but this pawn move is even justified. So he's sacrificing this pawn, and this is okay because he gets rapid development of his queenside pieces. So he is up a material, he's 2 pieces up, so he shouldn't care about this pawn. So it's okay to sacrifice this if you have a goal to rapidly develop. So Morphy takes this free pawn, and now Black plays c6, and this is a bad move. So this is yet another pawn move in the game, and I mean, what was the purpose of this move? It would be much better to develop knight and bishop. Even takes the natural square for knight, so it even slowers the development. So almost anything would be better here. I think probably the best move is something like knight f6, and now developing with the attack, and also this bishop is coming to g4 with the attack, so I think this would be much better choice. But okay, black played c6, and now Paul Morphy realized that he has too many pieces on the board and decided to sacrifice another piece. So bishop takes f7 check, king takes f7. Now if you count the material, Paul Morphy is 3 pieces down, but he doesn't care as long as he has the attack. And now in this position, Paul Morphy plays queen h5 check. And notice that Paul didn't go for pawn grabbing. He's not interested in grabbing the pawns. So for example, he could have played something like queen takes f4 check. So this is taking a pawn with a check, but this is easily defended with queen f6. And of course, black wants to exchange queens because then white has nothing. He's just 3 pieces down and he doesn't have any attacking resources. Or he could have played maybe bishop takes f4, but again black has the initiative in this case. Queen h4 check, and now white has to defend the check, and now queen g4 forces the exchange of queens. Not exactly forces, but it's and anyway the attack from white is stopped. Okay, so this is why Paul Morphy played here queen to h5 check, and now king has to move, and now bishop takes f4. Queen e7 now. Black is trying to develop, he's trying to make some space for his king, and I don't think there is much better things he could do. He could try to develop with threat, for example knight f6, threatening queen, but this doesn't work anymore because bishop h6 check, king g8 and queen g5 check, it's almost game over. So this is what black played, bishop e7, white castled, and now he brings more forces to the attack, and black now decides to get some initiative, I guess. So he went for this pawn with a check, and so he went on to grab some pawns. So queen takes d4 check, king h1, queen takes e4 now, and now Paul Morphy plays rook a to e1, bringing this rook in the attack and attacking the queen. And you'll notice in this position he's very happy not to have this knight here, because if this wasn't the odd game, the knight would be on b1, and then this move would not be possible. But okay, he would still be able to develop this knight with tempo. But I think in this position it's better not to have the knight. So you can see how Morphy turned this disadvantage, this handicap, into his advantage. So he played in a way that this knight is better off. So bishop a to e1, now threatening the queen, and queen retreats to g6. Okay, now let's stop for a moment. If you count the material, obviously black is 3 pieces up. So, but still white is better. It's better from human perspective, it's better from the engine perspective, and the game will be ended in a few moves. But what happened here exactly? Let's count the moves, the pawn moves made by black. So he played, if you remember from the beginning of the game, he first played e5, then e takes f4, then he played g5, then g4, then g takes f3, then d5, then c6. So if you counted, this is 7 pawn moves. So this is move 13. He made 7 pawn moves. And the other thing he did is moving his queen a lot. So his queen went from d8 to d4, then from d4 to e4, then from e4 to g6. So 3 moves with his queen. So 7 moves with his pawns and 3 moves with his queen. And also he was forced to move his king twice. So 13 moves, 7 pawns, 3 queen, 2 king. And the result is that, well, all these pieces are completely undeveloped. And in the meantime, in this while black was moving his queen and his pawns, Morphy got all his pieces to the attack. And this is the main point of this game. So even if you are 3 full pieces up, you cannot do anything if you just move your pawns and don't develop your pieces. And now the game continued and ended very quickly. So rook takes e7 check, king moves to f8, and now discover check, bishop d6 check. And now there are so many threats that black resigned in this position. He simply cannot defend this spin, this threat, this check, this everything. So let's give some maybe 2 variations. So if this check would be blocked with knight f6, then rook takes f6 check, king has to move if he doesn't want to lose the queen. So king g8, rook takes g6 check, h takes g6, and now queen takes g6, and you can see that this is checkmate very soon. Or instead of blocking this with knight, he could try to sack the queen and play queen f6 here, but then just queen e8 is checkmate, and so on. There are really many checkmating opportunities here and patterns. It's hopeless. Okay, so this is it for the game, and let's now go through the game once more, since it is my I always advise that you should go through any master game twice. So first you saw some details of the game, some basic ideas, and now you can go through it once more quickly, and in this way you can remember some ideas better. Okay, so Morphy is playing without his queenside knight, and he goes for King's Gambit, so e4, e5, f4, e takes f4, f3, g5. This is usual King's Gambit. Bishop c4 developing, and now g4, another pawn push, trying to harass this knight, but Morphy decides to go for this Muzia Gambit, so he gives away his piece, even though he's a piece up already, for an attack. So he plays d4, fighting for center, letting go of the piece, g takes f3, and queen takes f3. Now Paul Morphy is 2 pieces down. So the game continues d5, striking the center with the pawn, so this is a good move. And bishop takes d5, and now instead of developing his pieces, black plays another pawn move, c6. Morphy sacks another piece for a very strong attack, king takes f7. Now Morphy is 3 pieces down, but he has his attack. Morphy is not going for the pawn grabbing here, because that would give black some counterplay and defensive possibilities. Black could even force the exchanges in some lines. So Morphy plays queen h5 check. King moves to g7, and now bishop f4. Bishop takes f4. Bishop takes c7, so black is trying to develop and to make some space for his king. But Morphy now castles, bringing his rook in the attack, and now black, instead of developing and trying to see what can be done with his defenses, he goes on and grabs some pawns. So queen takes d4 check, king h1, king takes e4, and now Morphy takes advantage of the fact that he doesn't have the knight on b1 and brings his rook in the attack with the tempo. So queen a to e1, queen retreats to g6, and now it's game over, because Morphy has all his pieces developed and all his pieces are active, attacking, and black has 3 extra pieces, but they are not doing anything. So after rook takes c7 check, king f8, and bishop d6 with the discovered check, and many threats which cannot be met in any reasonable way. So black resigned the game here. Okay, I hope you found this game useful. I think it's very instructive, because you can see that even being 3 pieces up doesn't matter if you don't play with your pieces and if you just move your pawns and your queens on the board. If you liked this video, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, leave the comment below in the comment box, check out the video description. I'll always put some references, links, game moves, or I think you can find some useful stuff there. And see you very soon. Cheers!